Welcome everybody, this is Optimal Frequency and I'm Grant. I talk to spirits here at my house using sources of white noise like the running faucet in the kitchen. I then use an artificial intelligence that removes the sound of the running faucet and leaves behind the spirit responses to the questions I ask. Crazy stuff if you've never seen this. This week I've been watching over and over a music video called Hi Ren by an artist named Ren. This dude is amazingly creative. It's an awesome video. It's very long. It's 9 minutes in length. But if you haven't seen this, check this guy out. He's been very popular the past few months. Kind of like a breakthrough artist, but he's had some major difficulties in his life with mental issues, physical issues. He's going through all kinds of stuff. Now, they've been reviewing this video. Lots of people have been giving reactions. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to link to his video so you can watch it because it is amazing work. But what I want to do, because you know me, if I can talk to those spirits and they can give us answers, I want to get answers for this kid about the difficulties he's having with his health. Okay, so I wasn't going to do this video. I woke up from a dream. I said, I'm going to do it. And then, of course, went back to sleep, got up and went, well, that's a dumb idea. And then I think the spirits led me back to his page again with the music video and some comments that he's left in here that I find very intriguing. And they're right up my alley as far as speaking to spirits. So let's do this and see if we can help out Ren with some of his issues. If we get answers, he's probably never going to see this, but why not try? All right, I'm at the sink. I'm about to start my session. You can see I got the kettle fountain here, and I'm going to actually do something I've never done, and I'm going to fill it with white vinegar because I want to clean that pump out that's in the middle of the kettle fountain, and I'm going to run just white vinegar through that. I'm going to run my sugar bowl beside it like I normally do with water. Don't know if it'll make a difference as far as the voice is coming through, but we're going to find out. I have my questions here for the spirits about Ren. There we go. Watch this thing explode. Good morning. It's the following morning. Yeah, I put on the same shirt. Funny story. Yesterday, when I was done with the vinegar in the kettle, I said, well, I might as well use this vinegar to clean out my coffee maker at the same time. I'm getting old and forgetful. I filled the coffee maker with vinegar. Well, guess what? I just went to pour myself a coffee. I put the milk in and I'm like, geez, it doesn't look right. I pull out the bag of milk. I'm like, does the milk gone bad here? What's going on? Well, of course, I poured myself a hot cup of vinegar. Well, guess what? Robin's already gone to work and she takes a big mug of coffee. Whew, she smells pretty strong. Ooh. 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 It starts to come through pretty powerful and then it kind of stops. Ooh, nice echo. Have you spirits been watching the high Ren video with me? Now there's a reason I'm running that vinegar through the system and cleaning out that pump. And that's because I have a surprise coming up for another video that I'm doing whenever the part I ordered comes in. So I want this pump to be as clean as it can be and working as good as it can be. Spirits, is that vinegar going to clean out the pump? So when Ren dropped this video, he's put a comment on here. I'm going to read this comment to you because a lot of the questions I'm going to ask the spirits are derived from this comment that he's left on his music video. Up until I was 9 years old, I would intermittently hear a voice in my head that was not my own. The voice was distinctly different to mine and always negative. It would self-criticize or urge me to do things I knew to be morally wrong. The most peculiar thing about the voice was that it took no effort on my behalf to produce. My own thoughts always felt like there was a process that required effort to bring them to the forefront of my mind. This voice appeared as though it was spoken by another. The sentences felt predetermined, like they had already been constructed. I remember very vividly at 9 years old becoming very frustrated with the voice. I stood in my backyard internally screaming at the voice to be silent again and again, and it did. In a flash there was silence, to the point where my head felt like an empty room. I wasn't used to the quiet, and that voice never returned. It almost felt lonely in my head. Okay, so I have these questions here, if you can answer these for me, spirits. When Ren was a child and he heard a voice in his head, was that really a separate entity, or was that part of his imagination? If it was separate, who was it? Why did he hear this voice? Was it evil? When he told the voice to leave, where did it go? Did he banish the voice, or did a higher power banish it? When I got older, I had intermittent bouts with auditory hallucinations where I would hear perfect symphonies, usually at night when drifting off to sleep. They were so clear that they sounded like they were emanating from a radio in the corner of my room. I knew they weren't there, but for some reason they never came with the feeling of fear. The symphonies that Ren heard, were they auditory hallucinations, or was he hearing something from somewhere else? What was he hearing? I also recall sitting on a bus at the age of 15 and hearing the sound of a crowded room with about 100 voices chattering away. I was the only person apart from the driver on the bus. These experiences were always very brief and few and far between. When Ren heard the crowded room with the 100 voices when he was on the bus, where was that room located? Was he imagining that crowded room? My last hallucination was during an intense bout of psychosis in 2015 and was my first visual hallucination. I was walking down a pavement after jumping out of my mom's car in a crossroads in a moment of frustration and distress with my condition. I was trying to run from myself. What appeared to be a homeless man with a dark complexion approached me and asked me what was wrong. I explained that I had been sick most of my life and I wasn't sure I had the strength to continue. He looked at me and smiled and told me everything is going to be okay in the end, Ren. I had not told him my name. There was something so overpoweringly sincere about this very simple message which brought with it an overwhelming feeling of inner peace, and in a flash he vanished. Did Ren actually see an entity in the guise of a homeless man, or was this an hallucination in his mind? If the entity was real, who or what was it? Why did the homeless man help Ren? My rational brain always linked these experiences to what the doctors have told me, that there are parts of my brain compromised by the autoimmunity in my body, that the myelin sheaths surrounding the complex electrical system that conduct my thoughts were damaged and compromised, causing these lucid experiences that I knew did not exist inside the physical world. The part of me that edges away from logical and rational thought always attributed these thoughts to some kind of otherworldly intervention that made my thoughts the battleground of some spiritual tug of war. For a long time, I never really acknowledged this part of myself, for with it brought the danger and stigma of sounding like a crazy person. I decided with my latest release, to the best of my ability, to capture and express this chess match of thought. Ren has said he battles an autoimmune disorder. How can he overcome this? Is he on the right track with his diet? With the release of Hi Ren, Ren's popularity has skyrocketed. Was this all part of the divine plan for Ren? Do you have a message for Ren? If I send Ren some light, will it help heal him? I'm gonna do that right now. Vinegar smelling white light. And I just envisioned it like flowing through his body and healing him. you smell some white vinegar, you know where it came from. What is the message for those of us suffering anxiety and depression here on Earth? All right, thank you, spirits. Love, peace, joy, and adventure. Hope you came through. I'm going to go analyze this. Love, peace, joy, and adventure to you viewers. We'll catch you guys in the next video.